Hi, it's Anne from Unity Physiotherapy and Wellbeing. I'm going to share with you a short breath practice, which I invite you to join me in if you would like to. You can adapt anything you need to, you can stop at any point, and if stillness isn't okay for you, you can add some gentle movement. So for example, as you breathe in, taking your hands apart, as you breathe out, bringing them back together. So in a slow, rhythmical movement. The other thing you could do if you're standing, for example, is you could sway your weight slowly back and forwards. You can also do that in sitting as well. So whatever is right for you. Another option is closing the fists as you exhale, as you inhale, extending the fingers. So a slow rhythmical movement if that's needed. Before we begin, I'll invite you to check in with how you are and see what's needed for you. What would it be helpful right now to invite more of? Because this breath practice uses a word as a focus, something that we feel we need right now, that we would like to invite more of in this moment and perhaps into this day too. So the word I'm going to invite you to use is ease. You do not have to use that, you can use anything of your choosing. So it's a positive word, so it's not something that you want to get rid of, it's more something you want more of. So for example, you wouldn't use tension release, maybe you would use ease instead of that, or soothing, settled. So whatever you would like more of. So I'm going to teach this practice in sitting. You can be in any position, you can stand, you can lay. So when you're ready, I invite you to come into a comfortable position. Settle in. So if you're sitting, maybe noticing your feet on the floor, perhaps your back on the chair back, bottom on the chair. Maybe noticing the length in the spine from the pelvis all the way up to the top of the head. And maybe a gentle openness across the upper chest, like the smiley collarbones. Notice the position of your body. So for example, body sitting. Notice that you're supported by the chair or whatever you are on, and that the earth is supporting you and supporting the chair. And I invite you to check in with how you are right now. So checking in with your body, noticing what sensations are present, what your breath is like, what your energy is like, simply noticing what is present without the need to do anything, dipping in and out of it if you need to. Just being curious and compassionate about what's present. Really taking that time to check in and notice. Maybe noticing what thoughts are showing up and how they show up in the body. And take as long as you need for this check-in. You can pause the video if you need to. If there's a word or words for how you are right now, I invite you to notice that. Maybe that might lead you into what you need right now. So asking yourself, what do I need right now? What can I do for myself out of kindness? And then we can take that as the focus word in some way in this practice. And maybe you need to do something else before going into the practice. So maybe getting a drink or giving yourself a hug or just moving in some way. So I invite you to come into the practice now. So I invite you to close your eyes if that's okay for you. If your eyes are open, perhaps soften and lower the gaze. And simply notice your breath if that's okay for you. Doesn't feel okay right now, you can place a hand on your body, maybe a hand on the heart, hand on the belly, both hands on the heart, both on the belly. Or like I said earlier, you can bring in movement as you breathe in, taking hands apart, for example, as you breathe out, hands are back together. Simply noticing the breath, no need to change it, simply noticing that inhale and that exhale. Maybe bringing your focus to your belly. So as you breathe in, noticing the air from the nose all the way down to the belly. As you breathe out, all the way from the belly out of the nose. Maybe noticing the smooth rise and fall of the belly as you breathe. So as you breathe in, the belly gently rising. And as you breathe out, the belly is softening. And just following that inhale and that exhale. And I invite you to bring in a word of your choosing. I'm going to suggest the word ease, but you can change that if that's not okay for you. So as you next breathe out, I invite you to say to yourself, ease, slowly as you exhale. And breathing in, and then as you next breathe out, ease as you exhale. So saying this internally, but if you prefer, you can voice it vocally as you exhale. Notice how that reacts. How does it resonate in your body? So after a few repetitions on the exhale of ease, maybe there's a letting go in some way. What's the felt sense of the word that you're using as you exhale? And don't worry if there isn't one, that's okay. We'll do one more. So as you exhale, ease. And then before we finish this practice, just checking in again, noticing how you are now, what's present. Is there a word for how you are? Has that changed to the start of the practice? And when you're ready, noticing your feet on the floor, the position of the body, so body sitting, for example, opening your eyes if they were closed, and orienting yourself to the space around you. So what can you see and hear? As that practice lands, how are you? And that's something that you can really easily do in your day. It doesn't need to be as long as this. You can do a quick check-in of how you are. Or you may choose to use the same word for a few days and take in a couple of minutes, a minute, and focusing on the breath, maybe with movement, maybe not, and bringing in your focus word. I'd love to know how you get on. Take care.